Hi and welcome to Add More Zest. My name's Rebecca and today's WIP and Waffle is a section on my Heaven and Earth design painting. This is a cross-stitch chart converted, or will be converted, into a diamond painting. So let me get as much of it in the screen so that you can still see everything. But yeah, let's get some sections of this, or a section of this, done today. As you can tell, I haven't had chance to do any in the meantime. I don't think I've done any diamond painting in the last week. And I have a list of things that I want to get done, ready for launch at the end of the month as well. So we shall see how that goes. Oh, try and get the right part selected. But yeah, I hope everybody is having an amazing week. As I am filming this, we are currently in the middle of a heat wave here in the UK. Today is actually supposed to be the hottest day for us as I'm filming this. So yay for me. But I've had the aircon on. We have a portable aircon unit. I've had that on all morning so far. And yeah, I'm hoping that this room stays cool enough while I'm filming this and doesn't end up too hot. And then my plan is to sit and do computer work all day. I was filming a vlog for in a couple of weeks yesterday, getting the rest of launch prep done, and I got all the photos done. So I need to edit a ginormous batch of photos along with loads of other bits. So I've actually planned for a computer day today so that I could stay in front of the aircon. I do need to go in and pack orders, but apart from that, it's an easier, well, it's a stay as cool as possible kind of day today. Oh. But I hope wherever you are, that you are coping with the heat or potentially the cold, if you're on the other side of the world, and that things are good. It's a good week here this week. But anyway, let's go on to your comments, questions, etc. That we have on here from the last WIP and Waffle. So Busy Lizzie does comment. She says, hi Rebecca. She says, whenever you say let's go to the questions and comments, she always adds and conundrums, she says, as it reminds her of 8 out of 10 cats does countdown. Love it. It's amazing how certain phrases just remind you of certain things. Obviously a very good marketing advert jingle if it's still got you repeating things years later. She said about the spider incident, she said on the canvas video, she said it was part 3 of your Little Dreamers Tree videos. She says, and she shouldn't have asked, she said, because she is terrified of spiders. She says she would have ruined the canvas, she says, as she would have smashed it with something heavy as fast as she could in order for her peace of mind. She says she can't let one live in her sight and room. She needs to unalive them, she says, in order for her to move on and not have a panic attack. Oh dear. Oh dearie dear. Hang on, where am I going? There. always takes me a little bit. This is actually quite nice, this sweeping part, but I'm trying not to get too confused with it all, because that wouldn't be fun. She says, talking about moving the WIP and Waffle videos, she says, to only once a week. She says, it's fine. She says, if that's what you need to do. She says, we'll be here. And I think the mix of the two, she said, would be nice. Maybe a couple of videos on one and then a couple on the other. Well, we're going to see how alternate goes at the moment. That drill wouldn't stick because it was concaved. So let's get rid of that. Yeah, we're going to try alternate and see how it goes. It's definitely already working better for me just filming the one WIP and Waffle. With the plan to potentially film, you know, an extra video on occasion, but also knowing that it's not necessarily needed, like unless I impose a deadline on myself. It's not something that has to have a deadline, which is good. Say that definitely is working out for me, because it means I can concentrate on other stuff, which is also good because launch prep has taken me, as always, longer than I think. Should have learned by now, but yeah, it always takes me longer than I think, especially because of the amount of things that are coming out this next launch. It's definitely taken me its sweet time. Even photographing the diamond industrials last night took a while. Susan, she says she's so excited about Advent 2025. So am I. Very, very excited for that one. I'll be so happy after today when I've got launch prep done, because I'm itching. Even though I was itching to do the diamond industrials and do the launch prep, I'm now back to itching to get to the point of getting some Advent packed. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to being able to throw some time at that, but knowing that I'm not going to stress about whether launch things are all ready to go or not. Well, I'm sure I will a couple of days before launch, but not for now. For now, I'm all good. She says she thinks a fun vlog to see would be the preparation, she says, of the Advent boxes. Of course, she says she knows that we wouldn't be able to show it until after Christmas, but it might be something to think about. She says, love from Canada. Edited to add, she said she says she should have waited to have made her comment, as said vlog is underway. She says, yay. Yes, my plan is to try and condense it into 2 vlogs for post sort of Christmas, but not to go too far into, like, you know, fully past Christmas. But one would be the preparation of items for going in the Advent. So I am starting to film snippets of those. I'm probably going to end up cutting them down quite a bit, but it'll be sort of a bit of a speed through, I suppose, of prepping Advent items, and then a video showing us, or me, packing the boxes ready to go out, and sort of do those 2 different vlogs, because it does get very repetitive after that. You know, it is just a lot of items and a lot of boxes. So yeah, I'll just show you snippets of each of them is the plan, not to drag it out too much, and then we can move on to whatever the new year will bring, which I don't quite know yet. Maybe once I've got Advent done, I'll be able to sit and plan that sort of thing. Okay, let's get those. Oh, here we go. This is going to be fun. So there. It's these numbers that are confusing me at the moment. There. There we go. Woohoo! Cat Lady, she says, hi Rebecca. She says she is finishing her bookcase diamond painting. She says, as I'm chatting today, she says she's just doing the 310. She says they've been in the house since April and the jobs are endless. I don't think house jobs ever really end, do they? Not at all. Like, they just never go away. She says also, she says waiting for services to do work, she says, has also been so frustrating. Yes, I can imagine. It's like being a project manager, isn't it? That's basically what you are. He's a project manager. She says now the windows are in, they can get on with some decorating. Whoop, whoop. They have visitors in September, so they need to be able to work around that too. It'll be fun though. It'll be like a motivation to get as much done as you can before the visitors arrive. And then it'll be nice to have a rest. What will be the problem is getting going again once the visitors have left. That's where your problems may start. Is trying to get the motivation to get going again. Hopefully they will be visitors that rejuvenate you, maybe with ideas and plans and things that you can get on with once they have left. Sorry, I'm trying to concentrate. This is very bitty, this one. Just where making sure I'm sort of getting these in the right places. I probably ended up with some in the wrong place, but I guess we'll find out when I next place a colour. Where on earth is that going now? So it's going 3 across and then the 4th one down, taking into account the number. There we go. Mark that one off because I have done it. Grey Legrand, she says, hi Rebecca. She says, thank you for today's WIP and Waffle. She says she is forever behind. She said it's here for when she does have the time. She said she's working from home this afternoon and have a guitar pedal stand in the making on her A1 Mini. Ooh, get you. Love it. Get a bit of 3D printing going on. She says she's just printing this one and the boyfriend requested black. She says that's boring. She only has one spool of black, but she has lots of fun colours. She says, have a good day. Fun colours are always exciting. But yeah, sometimes black and white is needed, but I do get that they are not the most exciting colours to print with, that's for sure. But they can, it's amazing what you can make with them now. And we haven't explored anywhere near the possibilities of things that are available. They're just too busy printing trays. Apart from today, because it's so hot. It's not quite working today. Yeah, it's just far too hot. 30 degrees in the UK is not fun in any way, shape or form. Nearly put that in the wrong place. That would have been a good start, would it not? Down 1 from the 2. Sorry, I think I'm going to have to concentrate again for a moment. There. And then that's not on a row of numbers, it's the row underneath. And then that one. Get my little lines going up. It's easier when they're near the end. miss one and then one. Then we need 2 in the bottom, which I can do. And there we go. Okay, I can breathe again now. Breathe again now, I've got those done. Lady Dax, she says, well, she's still not got any diamond painting done. She says, but she has had a really good few days with P Jelly. She said it was her 40th birthday in the week. Happy birthday, P Jelly. I hope you had an amazing day. She said they've had some fun mum and daughter fun days, including eating out and a trip to Camden Market, which sounds fun for sure, apart from the busyness of London. I'm not often keen on the busyness of London, but it is an amazing city. I just want it to be quiet when I go. I don't think London's ever quiet. She says she will pay the price for all the walking. She says, but it was worth it to see her enjoying herself. I'm so glad she's had a really nice birthday week. Because those special occasions don't come around that often. So it's nice to have some fun time when it does. Kim, she says, the days are definitely getting shorter. Yes, they are. I did notice this last weekend that the nights were drawing in more. Not liking it at all. I like my daylight until later. I am definitely a fan of that. I'm not a fan of early dark nights. I don't know, it just makes me feel like I need to switch off earlier than I want to. It's not quite the same. She said a statistic came out in their area that Indiana loses about 1 hour of daylight in the month of August. Sunrises on August the 1st at 5:44 a.m. and the sun sets at 8:08 p.m. See, I love it when it's still light at like 9 o'clock. She says then on the 31st, the sun rises at 6:15 and sun sets at 7:25 p.m. Oh, see, it rising at 6:15 is fine, but it's setting at 7:25, not good. She says, you are an evening diamond painter, she says, but she is a daytime diamond painter. She says once the sun goes down, she says she is throwing her PJs on and hunkering down on the couch, she says, with a book until bedtime. She says, which she has to convince herself that bedtime isn't when it gets dark. Well, I'm sure you'll get through a good few books coming up then, if wintertime goes down. I actually read a physical book this last weekend. Normally I am a listen to Audible kind of gal. And Audible's actually really good for me, especially in relation to time and how long is actually left on a book, which was very evident this last weekend. So weekend just gone, we did a garden blitz. So we actually had a small sinkhole appear in our garden when we moved some furniture. Fun times. But yeah, we actually filled that in, fully weeded, did the lawn, which we've been doing the lawn regular, but like gave it a full-on trim around the edges and everything. And actually jet washed everywhere and lay some new sand in between like our pavers on our path and things. So yeah, it was an active weekend. Saturday was quite mild weather-wise. You didn't get all warm and sweaty from doing all the hard work. Sunday was warmer, but that was the day we were more resanding, so lighter work. And yeah, once we finished Sunday afternoon and we got all the furniture out, or put all the cushions on the furniture instead of just putting them on a couple and then pulling them in 2 minutes later when it rains. Yeah, so I decided to actually pick up a book that I had picked up. I picked up 2 books on a trip that we did to Centre Parks. Months and months ago. And then only read one while we were there. So I was like, all right, I'll keep the next one until we next go. Took it with us when we next went on a short break, and didn't end up reading it. Just because we were busy doing all the things. And yeah, I decided to pull that out. And yeah, I didn't go to bed until 2 a.m. because I was finishing said book. Oh, here we go. There's one I've realised that's in the wrong place. Yeah, didn't end up going to bed until 2 a.m. on Sunday night. Because the difference with Audible is it tells me how long's left on a book. So it'll tell me you have 6 hours left, and I can do the math and go, oh no, I need to stop. When I'm reading a book, once my head is in that book, it is very rare that it comes out again. But yeah, it was a great weekend, and I did enjoy it, and I suffered a little bit on Monday, but not enough that it wasn't worth it. So yeah, I hope you definitely enjoy your book reading time when it comes round. Oh, we don't have any 3799. Okay, let's get the rest of these whites in, and I'll get that yucky glue dot part that's come off. We'll get rid of that while we're in there. Cover that up in a bit. 2, 3, 4. I feel like I need to concentrate a little bit again. Kim also says, she did compare the 907 Diamond Dust to the regular 907, she says, and she does think they are a little bit too close for her comfort, which is fair enough. It is your diamond painting. You need to do what works for you. That one. Okay, I'm going to go from the top here. It was easier to tell which was the top one. She says it was worth a try though, and she says she's definitely learning something new every time she works on a kit. She says she's learning to be okay with not following all the rules, which is a good stance to take. The rules can be made by you, that's for sure. She says even though sticking to the rules is her normal vibe. It's because you're a good soul, Kim. That's why sticking to the rules is normal for you. But yeah, it's not breaking the rules, it's adapting the rules or changing the rules, because there's no crime or moral sin committed by doing something different, but it can definitely take a shift of mindset, because some rules are there for a reason, but not all of them. So it's fun to try something different and new. Doroby Punk, she says she loves the colours of this painting, which was my current WIP that I did last week. She says she finished her current painting today, which was Christmas in July. It was Christmas one for Christmas in July. She said it was fun to work on the painting. She says she'll post it in the group for all. She says, take your time to switch off, she says, from working, Rebecca. Don't forget to take care of yourself and loved ones. Oh, thank you. Yeah, we did decide to have plans this weekend, even if it was just around the house and getting stuff done. So I did take this last weekend off from work. I was actually planning on doing some computer bits until I picked up that book. And as they say, the rest of the day was a goner. So yeah, I am trying to still take the weekends off. Evenings is sometimes a bit tricky, but that's a lot of it is just me, because I am enjoying what I'm doing or wanting to continue and finishing a task. So that's a bit harder, but that's okay, because I say I'm trying to make sure that weekends are still fully taken off as much as I can. Unless we've got no plans and I actually feel like doing something, but we have had plans the past few weekends which have kept me busy doing other things. I haven't actually done any quilting. I came back from Festival of Quilts, did some quilting a couple of evenings in the week, which is not normal for me, and then promptly haven't done any since. Did a couple of evenings and then I've done nothing. So maybe I'll be picking some of that up again this next weekend. We'll see how I feel, see how much I'm enjoying Advent prep, or how fast Advent prep's going. That's what a lot of it is. I always think it's going to take less time than it does. But yeah, the less YouTube is definitely helping though. Kaz, All Things Crafty by Kaz, she says all good in her part of the country. Oh, she says she will be going into hospital at the end of the month for a hysterectomy. She says so she won't be doing much crafting, but she will make it part of her recovery. Well, wishing you all the best with that. Hope everything goes as expected. Not quite sure what's involved in the process in that. That's not something I personally have had to have done. So yeah, I just hope everything goes as you want and you have a quick and speedy recovery, but not too quick, because you need to be able to diamond paint. So the not painful part, but the take it easy part, that part can be a bit longer and more enjoyable. Right, I think that is the last of the comments from the WIP and Waffles, but I do still have some comments from the vlog that I've not yet responded to. So this is the vlog that went up the most recent. Well, actually, there's a comment first on the shop tour, which was last year in 2024. And Rose, she says, wow, where has the time gone? So true. She says, Add More Zest has a load of new products now and has come a long way since opening the new Zesty space. She says, thank you for all that you do. Yes, it's amazing how much in there has changed and how much actually having the Zesty space has allowed us to get different products and more things. I'm forever having a mini rearrange. I even did yesterday before doing the vlog with the new products, getting all the new products ready. I did another small revamp, just a revamp of how the bookcases were used to be able to accommodate everything that I wanted to be able to fit in there. But yeah, it's constantly evolving, changing, things are switching around. I'm about to have a full-on switch around in the warehouse space soon, but that's just so that I can pull out Advent stuff that we've had stashed for a bit, because sometimes we find items that are absolutely perfect for Advent right at the beginning of the year, and yeah, we like nab them ready. The idea being that we can prep them throughout the year. It's just not happened that way this year. So yeah, I'm about to have a revamp of the warehouse space just to pull, I say pull all that stuff out. Like, all the shelves are accessible, but of course there's some that are a bit further back and they may have boxes in front of them and things. So yeah, it's just a bit of a reshuffle to sort of bring them a little bit easier access, and then I will be clearing a space to be able to put completed boxes. It's the idea, so that I can start actually making some up and stashing them. How long that will take, I'm not sure, but yeah, warehouse revamp will be incoming while I shuffle everything, and then as soon as Advent starts leaving the building, the warehouse will feel empty again, and then I'll go looking to fill it up with more stuff, because that's the way I work. Natalia, she says, greetings from the seaside, from Poland. Hello, Poland. She says, from the town of Cholopi. I have probably hashed that pronunciation. Not very good with pronunciation of foreign words. I'm not one for foreign languages, I'm afraid. I try and learn things like hello and thank you for any country that I go to, but that's just more so I can be polite. The rest, no, completely flummoxes me. I am not one for languages, that's for sure. I think I'm going to run out of 5200 while doing this. Still not filled up, but I will just get one packet, I think, and then fill it up when I'm done, because it is starting to get warm in here. The lights overhead are starting to make it rather warm. So let's get this one. Even my glue dot's not liking the heat. And get those bits of trash out. Right, where's my diamonds? Let's try and make sure I actually pick up 5200. Yes, that's definitely 5200. If anybody watched a previous one, I managed to do completely the wrong colour. But we'll just tip one out to get this finished. Crafty Hal, she says, are those yellow, orange and blue trays, she says, at the top, she says, at 1 hour and 18 minutes, she says, on the shelf. She says, I may be kind of too eagle-eyed. Yes, they are. The amount of times I have to move things before doing a vlog, because we are so close to Advent, the amount of stuff I've had to move recently and shift or edit and cut bits out because I've not realised that it's caught something in the background is unreal. But yes, they're not an Advent item, so I didn't particularly keep those hidden. Which is why you guys don't come to the warehouse section with me on camera and things, because it's just so full of Advent stuff. That's what most of the behind the printers and everything is. Oh, speaking of printers, Luna's currently barking at FedEx, who is currently bringing me a big delivery of filament. If you can hear her, she doesn't like delivery drivers. But yes, they are those colour trays. They are for an item that I have planned for the launch at the end of this month, which is technically our September launch, but it's at the end of October. I'm using some of them for that. I may, I don't think there's going to be any extras of those going on sale at the end of this month, because of the item I'm using them for. I want to see how that item goes, because I may need to make up more. So it will probably be October that I may put up some of those for general sale as well, once I know what numbers I need for my project with them. It's the only thing when you bring out something that's new and different, you have zero idea of how well it's going to go. So you'll see on future vlogs that I have, done sort of a selection of this item, and I'm hoping it goes well. But if it does, I want to have the trays to be able to do more. If it doesn't, then I'll put the trays up for general sale. So it'll probably be October. But today's section is done. We have a beautiful sweeping dress. So this is it. We've just done this bit. So we're definitely getting there with it. I don't think it's going to be finished this year, especially now my WIP and Waffles have shortened. But we're definitely getting there with the Heaven and Earth design. Not got as many big sections of black now. There might be some over here, so maybe I'll have to try and get some of those done to keep it interesting further down. But thank you all so much for joining me for the WIP and Waffle. Thank you for all your comments so that I can read them out on the next one. Thank you for your support on the vlogs as well. I've just read, Lady Dax has just said, she said, I wish I could tidy up my craft area on high speed. Do you know, one of the hardest things of doing vlogs, it's like when I cut a roll of cover paper and then I speed it up for you guys, or trimming up cover paper, or anything that I'm doing that I then put on high speed. I'm like, why can I not just complete it that quick? And yes, it was the same with the craft room tidy up. It's like, why could that just not get done like that? I could get so many things completed off my to-do list if that happened. One day a week where I could work on high speed would be awesome. Anyway, yes, thank you all so much for joining, for comments, for the whole lot. Have an absolutely amazing week. There will be a vlog again next Tuesday. Not sure if I'm going to get another video in at some point this week. I do have one planned, so I am going to try. But yeah, I will speak to you all again soon.